What a great day and an opportunity to spend with the youth of our community. I recall growing up in this industry, and I was telling the students that are here today, I began parking cars at the Holiday Star Theater, and there were no programs like this for the students. There wasn't an opportunity for kids like Scott and myself to go into places of business and learn about careers and find out what's going on and have the opportunity to speak with professionals. And it's something that our organization embraces. Anytime we can interact with students in our community, whether at the high school or the collegiate level, we find that very important. We place a very heavy emphasis on that as a corporate culture. So for those of you today that were in the video department, I saw Andy with 5 job shadowers today. If you're interested in an internship, somebody in sports marketing, communications, marketing, I was speaking with a young man who was interested in sales and marketing, please call us. And if you're not interested in doing it specifically with our organization, we have contacts and members and friends in this industry throughout northern Indiana, and we can help you advance your career and advance your learning. And I'd like to give yourselves a round of applause for being here and being such great students today. Thank you for being here very much. There are a couple of distinguished gentlemen in this room. One of them I want to make sure to point out, I would ask him to stand up, but I think he's standing. The executive director from the Construction Advancement Foundation and my very best friend, Dewey Pierman. Thank you for joining us today, Dewey. And now I'd like to bring up Mark Maassel, who will give us a few comments, the president of Northwest Indiana, on the overall condition of the Northwest Indiana economy and economic condition. Mark.
So you see, one of the criteria for being here is I'm not the shortest person in the room, so I guess thank you for that, Speros. I tell you, this is the kind of thing that we're very interested in. We consider it very important. Creating more jobs, creating economic activity across Northwest Indiana. And certainly the hospitality, the tourism business is a critical component of that. It's a necessary element for us to have a solid quality of life. We look around the exhibit hall this morning, just the beautiful artwork that we see is a key part of our life, and bringing people to see these kinds of opportunities is enormous. Having a place to stay, having a place to eat, having choices in all of those are just essential. And of course, anytime there's activity, anytime people are involved in our economy, they're creating a bigger and bigger benefit. And this kind of activity really does lead to that. When someone comes into our communities, or if someone from our community decides to go out and take part in some of these great opportunities, all of that generates additional income coming in. It keeps people employed. It really makes a big difference as we go forward. You know, it's exciting to see everybody here from the local high schools. I think that's fantastic. Keep in mind that in many ways this is an entry into a career-long kind of thing, whether you choose to stay with hospitality or, like some of us, you move into different parts of the industry. It is a great way to learn about the business world. It's a great way to take advantage of some of the work experiences and find out what it really is like to be out in the rest of the world. We spend roughly, just kind of crudely speaking, the first 20-something years of our lives just mainly focused on education. You then spend something like 40 years, twice as long, actually working. And it is a great way in which you can begin that transition out of a very important part of your lives into something else. And it's, of course, a great industry that has a tremendous benefit and a tremendous impact here in Northwest Indiana. Speros, thank you.
Well, the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority is a member of the Northwest Indiana Forum because we place a great deal of emphasis on not only the health and vitality of our industry, but the other sectors that are involved. We are as interested in making sure that steel is healthy, that refining is healthy, that medical is healthy, pardon the pun, that all of those sectors of our economy are doing well because we have to work hand in hand with them. Today, I'm very pleased to announce that we're going to be giving you the research information that has just been released by Surtech, who is an independent research consultant out of Lexington, Kentucky. They measure for us the purchases of visitors, which include goods and services such as lodging, food and beverage, gasoline, souvenirs, admission fees, entertainment, and other retail goods. The total economic impact of tourism is a combination of those direct expenditures and the wages, jobs, and taxes that those expenditures create and produce. The tourism and travel industry contributed, and this is the big headline number, and we didn't pick this week out by chance. We wanted to give you a super number during a super week. We know that all eyes are in Indiana, talking about the fantastic hospitality that we know Indianapolis will provide to the Super Bowl, and we wanted to use that as a springboard to talk about the hospitality that we provide on an annual basis. That number for Lake County alone, not including Porter, LaPorte, and Newton, which we serve, is $1.62 billion to the Lake County economy. I'll say that number again. $1.62 billion are generated by the hotels, restaurants, attractions, and retail involved in our industry. When SurTech last did their study in 2001, that number was $1.34 billion. So we've averaged a 2.2% annual increase across the last decade in what our industry is giving to the economy and what it's generating for our paychecks and our citizens. Direct expenditures by tourists accounted for $1.37 billion of this total. That means almost $1.4 billion of the money that was spent in this $1.6 billion economy of tourism was brought by people from other places and spent here. It's money out of their paychecks, which we don't have to plow their streets, pick up their garbage, educate their kids, fill their potholes. This to us is found money, and this is why we take the revenues that we do as a Convention Visitors Authority and we plow them back into the industry to generate more visitation. $1.4 billion came from somewhere else and filled our cash registers in 2010. The tourism industry generated 651 million in tax revenues. And at a time where government on every level is looking for more taxes and more revenue, we generated in Lake County alone $324.4 million to the state of Indiana, $148.7 million to the county and municipalities, and $178.2 million in federal tax money. Now that's a whole lot of tax money that comes out of this business, accounting for $651.3 million in tax generation. A total of 13,908 direct tourism-related jobs are accounted for in Lake County alone. That means almost 14,000 households have a check that comes out of our industry. 1/3 of those are high-paying occupations like general manager, owner, night manager, you name it, croupier, general manager of a casino. These are high-paying jobs that can sustain a great deal of spending in our economy. Finally, tourism-generated jobs provided $247.7 million in wages to Lake County. Very happy today to share this moment and the great backdrop here from the Lubeznik Center for the Performing Arts in Michigan City. We're happy to host this art exhibit here. And all the students that joined us and our friends, I appreciate looking out of the room and seeing friends from various communities. This is important news. We're very happy about it. When we wonder why we do this and people ask, it's because we're generating $1.6 billion for our economy every year in Lake County alone. And I'm pretty sure that if you added Porter and LaPorte, the way we've always seen our product, that we're just as big as Indianapolis and employ just as many people, which accounts for why we've always said strategically we need to be managing this as a regional product. But $1.62 million for our community. I've seen hoteliers here. I've seen a lot of our friends, board members. Everybody give yourselves a round of applause and we'll entertain any questions that the media may have. Questions? Questions? Question? Gary?
What impact, and I don't know if maybe you have any figures on this, but we were so looking at Indianapolis this year. Is that a boom for our region economically as well?
Well, I think any time that we can, and I think the last number I heard for the Super Bowl was a Ball State study, and it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $360 million. I may be a little light, I may be a little over, but it's somewhere right in that neighborhood. I think anytime our state gets $360 million pumped into it, whether that's taking place in Fort Wayne or Gary or Evansville or Indianapolis, I think that's important. I think that anytime we have the national spotlight on our state for hospitality, when we have an opportunity for one of our sister cities to really have a moment that our state hasn't had. Not only are the direct expenditures that will be made by the people in Indianapolis this week important to the state coffers. I mean, you heard our numbers, and let me go over that again. From a state perspective, we paid $324.4 million to the state. So if they get another $20, $40, $60 million sales tax hit for the state of Indiana, that's more money that the legislature will have next year to take a look at and hopefully will trickle into a community like ours and fund some programs that we need. So we're very, as an organization, we're very proud of Indianapolis. We support Indianapolis, and we wish them all the best this week. We're all kind of watching the weather to try to make sure that we have good weather and we don't have anything bad happen. But I'm a believer in a high tide lifts all the boats. And if there was a major event that came into Valpo, we'd be just as happy as that as if we were in Lake County, because our belief system is that the visitor doesn't know where county lines are, money doesn't know where county lines are, and even if it's 2 hours away, at some point it benefits every one of us in the state of Indiana. Questions? Yes, sir.
What is the game plan for the coming year? This is a great report you're giving us, but what's on the game board right now as far as enhancing tourism for 2012?
Well, funny you should ask that. Next week in Indianapolis, we'll be having a press conference talking about some important numbers that will come from uniform school opening. Although that bill died an unfortunate death yesterday in the Senate, we continue to believe, and our numbers will show you, that it's larger than a Super Bowl and a Big Ten championship in Indiana every year, and costs the state nothing, but simply saying this is the day school starts. We think that's an important issue, and from my perspective, we're going to keep doing it. To answer your question more directly, I'm looking at our 2012 events that are lined up here, and we have for you in your media kit that you're more than free to pick up. But Jason Sands and Heather Becerra, by the way, standing side by side there, if you raise your hands. Jason, Director of Sports Marketing, Heather, Director of Sales and Marketing, have got some great conventions and sporting events lined up, including the National Softball Association. Those of you in the community will remember we had them in 2007 and 2009. We brought 10,000 people in 1 week in July to our community. That's returning this July for us, as it will in 14 and hopefully 16. So that's a very big piece of business for us. But we've got other great stuff going on with Toy Baylor, who we do a lot of amateur youth sports with. We're bringing Salvation Army back that we lost last year. We've got a lot of great sports and meetings and conventions that are coming in. We're seeing a little stability in the market right now. People are starting to spend a little money. We're hopeful that, we think 2012 is still going to be a bit soft, but it looks like it's stabilizing for us, and that's important. And hopefully that will launch us into 13 and 14, which we're actively working on now and selling our products into the future. So in your media kit, if you pick one up on the way out, we'll have all those activities for you.
Were you surprised at how well we did given the soft economy?
Well, I'm guessing a lot of it. That 2.2% average every year is an average. I think that from 2001 to 2007, we did really well. We were able to experience some good growth. We were booking some good business. Things were very, very good. I can't underscore how difficult the last 3 years have been in this economy. It's been brutal. We finished up, and I don't have the star numbers in front of me, and I don't see Bob off the top of your head. I should have brought them, but I want to say we finished up as a county last year at 60%, and then I think Porter County was at 42, and LaPorte was at about 35. And what do I mean by that? Saying all the hotels we have, we track two numbers specifically. One is the percentage of occupied rooms. Two is the average daily rate that we sell those rooms at. We had the highest amongst all of our competitors, including Fort Wayne, Chicago Southland, Porter, LaPorte, South Bend. I think we closed the year at 60% occupancy, about $74.54 average daily rate, which outperformed everybody else in the market. In a bad year, I'm happy with that, but we're still way down in ADR and still way down in occupancy from where we were in 2007. Questions? Luann?
No, you're answering.
Gary? Karen? Nothing? Anybody else? Good of the order? Well, we have with us, like I said, Mark Maassel is here, Dewey Pyramid's here. Anybody who wants to ask questions, please do. I'm available for any other questions and answers or questions you may have, and hopefully I have the answer. Otherwise, thank you for joining us. It's an exciting day for Lake County's hospitality industry. And as always, we're very, very humbled to be able to serve the hospitality industry from Northwest Indiana. Thank you for attending. Have a great day.